indictment, you got to realize they're playing chess at this point. Both teams are playing chess in this, right? The first, hey, Bo, both teams are going to be playing chess. They're going to be firing back and forth at each other, right? The first salvo was back when the defense said, we want a speedy trial, right? My client's sitting in prison and he's innocent. He's sitting in jail, innocent. I don't believe he is either, but they're sitting in there, innocent. I want him out. So we want the trial date set for May the 5th. That's ambitious as shit, people. You can't imagine how ambitious that is, right? If this were any federal case, to get the person arrested in mid-September and to go to court in the same year or the same 12-month time period, to go to court in May is unheard of. It really is. It's unheard of. And this has way more discovery than any other case you're ever going to see. Hundreds of terabytes of discovery, right? That has to be gone through and all of this. It's almost impossible, right? That this could be put together in that period of time. But they wanted to force the prosecution to rush. They don't want to give them 2 years to put together a bulletproof case. They want them to have to do this. Now they're in there going, this isn't going to give us enough time. The Enterprise letter gets here on March 7th. You understand this? So that means between now and March 7th, they don't even know what the charges really are. I mean, they know it's human tea, they know it's this, but they don't know who the co-conspirators are. They don't know. They're going to say on such and such a date. Well, they're not going to know any of this until March 7th. And 60 days later, we're starting the trial. Do you think that's realistic? Seriously. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that we are going to go to court on May 5th. That would be voir dire. They're going to start choosing the jury. It doesn't mean the case would start, but the process would start. Voir dire would start on May 5th. If you don't think there's a chance on God's green earth that we're going to see this in May, give me a 3. And I will tell you right now, I am voting with as many 3s as I can put up. This is a chess game. And as we get closer to that date, that's when, if they've got a superseding indictment, they don't want this thing if they start feeling like they're under the gun and they're not going to be able to get this thing ready to really go hard, all they got to do is hit them with a superseding indictment, and that is going to throw all of this off. Now, are they going to manufacture something fake? No. Like, they had grand juries. We know Courtney Burgess, right? We know he went. We know that the sex worker that shot up the Doral, Jonathan Oddi, right? Jonathan Oddi was called up to the Hill. These are names that we know they talked to. There are a lot of other people that it is alleged went up there and talked to him. So if a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich and you spent weeks, if not a month, interviewing people at a grand jury, you guys couldn't find a ham sandwich to indict? Bullshit. They got other stuff to indict this cat on. Okay, further news since the last time I saw you. Diddy has and his team got a win about this big. It's minor as shit, but it's a win. And what it is this. Remember when they raided MDC Brooklyn and they went in there with 5 different agencies? They brought drug-sniffing dogs. They brought cops from the state. And they said, this has got nothing to do with Diddy. We do these kind of operations 4 or 5 times a year. And they do, by the way. They do this crap all the time. Except this time, they were after Diddy. Make no mistake. And when they went in there and they looked, they found that notebook. And it was allegedly filthy. Right? Filthy. Like, he was writing stuff down like allegedly. Right? This is what is alleged. That he was writing stuff down like, it would be great. It would be a lot better if this person wasn't around, right? Almost like a hit list. It is also alleged that on that piece of paper was an escape plan, or at least the rudimentary beginnings of an escape plan. A lot of stuff on there about who needed to be talked to, who needed to bribe this person if he can, or threaten this person if he can. I don't know that any of that is, but that's what's being alleged is in this book. And they're fighting like hell to keep it out. Truth be told, if that book doesn't come into to play, how much do you think it really is going to? How much do you really think it's going to hurt them? Because I personally, I don't think it's going to hurt them much, right? They still have their case in chief. They're ready to roll. The difference is there's a lot of proof in that little thing about him tampering with evidence and witnesses. And that's a huge deal. Whether you realize it or not, it really is. It makes a person look bad. Heidi Fliss, believe it or not, opened up a legal brothel in Pahrump, Nevada. Whether or not she still owns it and runs it, or whether or not she sold it, I don't know. But she opened up a brothel. In fact, at one time, she was trying to have male workers, men who would service not only gay men but also straight women. So she was kind of cutting edge and on the front boiler, so to speak, of the sex industry. Crazy, right? So this victory is minor, but here's what happened. The victory goes like this. The judge said, all right, I'm going to want to see an awful lot more from the judge wants to see the prosecution prove that this is not a conflict. Like this wasn't them getting into privileged communication between client and lawyer. Now, could this rise to the level of a mistrial? Theoretically, it absolutely could. If they were to determine that what the prosecution was doing was downright filthy and underhanded, yeah, in theory they could get the case thrown out. Now, it doesn't mean that they wouldn't get it thrown out. They would get declared a mistrial. Now, they could, of course, proceed and prosecute him again. And with all the smoke around Diddy, you think they wouldn't? You're crazy, right? But I don't think it's very likely to happen. I don't think anybody wants to see this thing go away on some kind of BS technicality. The other thing is, we know that out of Subramanian's mouth, he admonished the defense for lying, right? Allegedly Agnifilo knew that it didn't say legal on that thing, and he knew it was written after the fact. Now, that's them playing games. That's them breaking the rules, right? Sorry. You know, since this is the Bunny Ranch, not the Chicken Ranch, but the Bunny Ranch. Yeah, the Midnight Bunny Ranch, the Mustang. I don't think the Chicken Ranch is around anymore. Not sure why everyone is turning on Allie. She's talking about Allie Carter since her so-called mom came out. But I think that lady has every reason to lie if half of what Allie says is true. Listen, there are so many. There are going to be so many people that are going to smut up people in this. We're watching stuff we've never seen, right? When has there ever been anything in our lifetime, right? Where has there been a period where nobody trusted anybody in these industries, right? Everybody, like those award ceremonies, you watch those award ceremonies now, and as people are walking up to the stage, tell the truth. What's in your mind, right? I'm watching it going, I wonder if he had an egg shoved up his ass to get this role. I wonder if he got paid $50 million, but has to allow his kids to be molested. Right? Some of the allegations that are coming out are hard to believe. They're hard to believe. I'm going to believe them until I'm proven otherwise. Some of them are so fantastic that it is very difficult to believe. But we are in uncharted territory. We really are. But on the outside chance, right, that Gary Meek, we will be doing that in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. If by some chance, right, if by some chance that what Allie Carter has been telling us is true, do you want to be the person that says to her, I don't believe you? I don't. I mean, you can knock yourself out. I get emails from people every single day that say to me, how can you believe anything Jag says? How can you believe anything that, that this person says? I keep going back to basic, right? Basic human understanding. If 63% of people who are held down and forced to have sex with someone against their will are so terrified that they never report it, what do you think goes on in the kind of situations that are being described by people like Jaguar Wright, right? These are horrific stories, and I don't enjoy seeing anybody fighting within this kind of community because, like anything else, right? My ex is a survivor of the cult of Scientology, And we've taken some really hard shots at Scientology. We will continue to do so. We think it's a crap organization. It's a cult that traffics human beings and destroys families. We're going to stick with that. We're always going to be those people, right? But it's amazing how much when you start telling the truth about things, how people come out of the woodwork to destroy you, right? Nothing makes the cult happier than when the people who are fighting it are fighting each other, right? They can sit back and go, told you these guys were all full of crap. Look at them dismember each other. I really hope that Ali Carter and Jaguar and all other parties can kind of get together, right? On the same page. It's difficult, people, especially when there's something to this. There's something to this. But how about a little human beings? How about the old ticker? When people say stuff like, oh man, she got 9 details wrong. She was 13 years old, right? If you believe the allegation, she was 13 years old and she was given probably the first time she had ever done a serious substance. And that substance was GHB mixed with booze, right? This person found themselves a zombie where they're there, but they're not there. It's a terrifying experience, right? It's like being, it's like chemical handcuffs. You can't really control what you're doing. So for someone to walk away, and allegedly she's autistic, but if she wasn't on the spectrum at all, right? I use this illustration all the time, but picture a puzzle that has 25 pieces, right? Pretty simple puzzle. Take 6 of those pieces out, disassemble the puzzle, put it in a box, shake it up, and dump it out onto a table. And that's what this drug does to you. At the end of the night, you'll remember showing up at the party, but you might remember that as the last thing that happened. Your sequence of events gets jumbled, everything just, and then they send in the pros, right? Allegedly. Somebody like Christina Karam comes in and puts an arm around you. Girlfriend, you need to settle down, man. Maybe don't drink tequila anymore. You were trying to take about 4 dudes in the back last night, right? Talking about wanting to train and just crazy stuff. What got into you, girl? We need to talk. It's disgusting, isn't it? Huh? You can't do this with male handlers. You understand that? You think you could send in a bald guy with a goatee like me to smooth over what a girl thinks happened to her the night before? No. No, and neither could Diddy. No, he had to have a team of women handlers around him, like the Ghislaine Maxwells, right? People that are professionals at making individuals feel like, maybe what happened last night was their fault. Maybe they just got a little wild and they need to stop drinking or doing whatever. Yeah, Ali addressed her mom on her latest post and gave the report number of the adoption and has been the only one giving receipts. Gaslighting with drug enhancement. Gary Meek, that's genius. That's a really great way to put it. We're going to have opinions on this as a community. And there are going to be people that are going to say, you know what, I find Jag to be the more believable of the parties. Or there are going to be people that say, I find Ali to be the more believable of the parties. I'm hoping, right, that we do better than that. I'm hoping that we don't pick sides, right? Because no matter what's going on in this crap throwing, I believe Ali Carter was victimized in the way that she describes. And I believe that Jag was victimized in the way that she describes. So if we're arguing about details that are effing up this fight, then we're screwing up, right? The people that need to be taken to the woodshed on this thing, right, are Sean Carter, Sean Combs, and all of the scumbags that have facilitated what these guys have done for 3 decades, right? That's it. Wait, she says. Wait. Is that wait for me to come forward and tell my story? What do you think? Foxy could destroy him. You know that, right? It's going to take one person to come out. It's going to take one video. These people didn't have sex if they didn't videotape it. Do you think I'm wrong? Seriously. It's just one story after another, after another, after another, after another. They didn't have sex unless it was videotaped. How long before one of these pops up? How long before we hear about a Voldemort video? Yeah. Excuse me, God called. He said the truth will be revealed and all those lying will be exposed. 2025, people, is off to a hell of a start, isn't it? So, as you probably know, the city of Hollywood is on fire, right? There's an awful lot of very wealthy actors in that part of the world whose homes are burning to the ground. Now, I know that a lot of people want to do this, pump their fist in the air. I take no joy in anybody losing their home. Now, if it comes down to it, and it's got to be, let's see, Naomi, right, Clemente, or Michelle, or Darcy, or one of you versus one of them, I'm going to go with one of them 100 out of 100 times. Number one, they don't live in the real world we live in. If the insurance company gives them the finger, they'll rebuild on that Malibu plot with the money they got in a checking account, right? We've made these people gods. It's disgusting, but it's the truth. We've done this, all of us, in our ignorance, but we have done this. We've made these people so wealthy, so powerful that they can do whatever they want. So there are people in these fires who got their home because, grandma left it to mom, who left it to them. And my thoughts and prayers are with them. The people that lost their homes that can write a check for a new one. Yeah, I'm sorry that you lost your stuff. I really am. But you live in a community of people that victimize people as a way to make a living, right? 2025, I think it's, you can laugh, by the way. Hold on one second. Sorry. Pure Heart, good to see you. I think that we are, and you can laugh at me if you'd like, right? But I believe in wrath of God kind of stuff, and I find it remarkably funny that with everything that is going on, the thumbnail I used for the last video I did over on the lifeboat had a picture that was taken from Palisades, and it's just everything is on fire. You can see electric lines that held traffic lights, and everything is just ablaze. There's nothing left. And I put Diddy in that red suit that you've seen him in, sitting in the red chair. I cropped that out, stuck it in the middle of the flames, and it looked so perfect. It really did. I've been making thumbnails now for months showing the hillsides in Hollywood on fire. Do you find it ironic that it is on fire in the beginning of 2025? With everything that happened in 2024, we heard Cat Williams a year and 6 days ago say, in 2024, all truths are going to come out. Well, this is 2025. We're not in 2024 anymore. And you know what? The truths have already come out. We're going to see a lot more proof, but the truths are already out, right? This is not just a Diddy problem. Can we agree with that? This is so much bigger than Sean Combs. This is so much damn bigger than Sean Combs, right? And even adding Sean Carter, it's bigger than that. This is a systematic, this is a systematic taking apart of a culture that has been victimizing the talent, right? Since before World War II, right? We know what happened to Shirley Temple. We know, going back to the very beginning of Hollywood, we are at a point right now, it's everybody's problem is right. Yes, the Hollywood sign is not literally on fire. I have been